you guys ended up opening up for Pearl Jam for two different shows in St. John's. These are like
Yeah.
stadium shows. Were you already a Pearl Jam fan? I guess we're talking about the grunge days, that's
Mm.
kind of where you fell in love with music. Were you a Pearl Jam fan before those shows? And what was the experience like playing those massive shows? Those have to be the biggest shows you played up until that point.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, that I was a big Pearl Jam fan. I was a huge Pearl Jam fan because Sean, my brother, brought 10 home and he brought Temple of the Dog home. And we waited like I think I skipped school the day the verses kicked out and now came out, and we were like waiting at the mall for the for the Records on Wheels to open or whatever. And then Vitology came out, and like I remember driving to school with Sean, and we were just listening to Vitology every day. And then after that, No Code and Yield, like that I was
All right,
all
you're name
in.
dropping all the album titles, so you're
I
definitely a
was
fan.
I was in fully, and I had like that was that Neil Young record that they did with Mirror Ball, and they had like a B-sides Merkin Ball. And that was the cool thing when we got to play with them. Like, I don't know. I think we were all, our minds were blown that we had this opportunity, and we were so excited. I think we found out just a few days before. So we all pile in our van and drive to St. John's, Newfoundland, like take the ferry. So like, we're kind of just showing up just in time. But fortunately, we always had a nice, uh, Judd is from St. John's, so whenever it was kind of like our second home. We played so many shows there in the early days, so we kind of had, we knew Judd's family, so like we would always stay at their house. And anyways, we get there, and yeah, we sound check. I think we're just super nervous, but they like break the ice immediately and come and introduce themselves. And yeah, after the show, they take us out to go bowling the first after the first show, because I think it's the end of a long tour for them. So a few of their partners and wives are there and stuff, because but Sleater Kinney was supposed to open those shows and had to pull out at the very end. I think maybe budget didn't work out or something like that. So that's how we got on those shows, and they took us out bowling. So I bowled against Stone Gossard that night, and they were just super lovely, and we were super like, I mean, I can only speak for myself, but I was just like, yeah, it was just like totally mind blowing. And never thought that. I mean, I think we had gone to Europe before that, and that was a big deal. I think that was like in high school. Like, if I can go to Europe and play shows in a band, that was like basically my goal. It was like, I'm like good after that. And like, so like, having, thinking that you might open for Pearl Jam, one of my favorite bands, was, yeah, it was almost too much to handle. It was like, after that, it was like hard to yeah, to kind of calibrate after that. But yeah, they were so sweet. And the next day, Eddie came out and opened for us, solo set, and then we played. And Olivia is their Jill and Ed's daughter, and she was like a baby then. And kind of full circle moment, when I was on tour with Broken Social Scene in the fall, we did Eddie Vedder's music festival in Ohana, it's called, in Laguna Beach area down in California. And I got to hang out with Eddie again there. And I actually saw like she's like grown up now. She's like 19 or 20. And she's kind of like in the mix of the festival. Beautiful festival. Everybody's so sweet. It's like one big family. But I don't know. That was it was and Eddie, like I walked up to Eddie and I was like, "Hey, it's Loel from Wintersleep," and he like immediately remembered. I was like, Newfoundland, and we hung out for quite a while after that. And it's just like, just wild to, it just blows my mind to think that things like that in life can happen.
Man,
Because
it must be tough, doing the two stadium shows with Pearl Jam, hanging out and bowling, and then it's like the next morning you wake up and you're on your couch, like life is
yeah,
back to
yeah, it's like,
normal. Like the highs
yeah,
and
it's like,
lows of the music industry are wild.
I know, yeah, because you're like, I can't hang out with Stone Gossard today. Like, he's in Seattle and I don't have his phone number.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
that's too funny.
it was wild. So yeah, those moments are very intense, but I mean, it's just kind of like, like those moments keep happening in this musical existence, you know what I mean? So I don't know. Yeah, it's just that was the first big thing that we got to do as a band.